Hi my friends, this is Liberty and welcome back to my channel, and today I will be journaling in my beautiful Archer and Olive 8x8 notebook, the 4 books that I read for the month of January. And I had a solid reading month, and I'm just starting out here with my bookshelfie. I'm just highlighting the books and I am color coordinating them to how I experienced it, whether it's the physical, audio, Kindle, or Kobo. And now I'm going to print out the covers, and I realized after I was putting them in here, they might be too big. I hope I left myself enough room for all the covers for the year. My goal is 50 books for the year, so we'll see how we do. Also, for my Leaf and Lantern book club pick for the month, it was The Light Pirate, and I absolutely love this book. I'm not sure, but it might be my favorite book of the month. It's between this and another one, which I will maybe go over a little bit later here. But yeah, it was so good. I highly recommend joining an in-person book club. Sadly, I did have a DNF, or a did not finish, for the month, so I was a little bit upset about that. It was The New Wilderness by Diane Cook, and I was so excited about this book, you guys. I could not wait to get my hands on this book, but I don't know, I got halfway into it. I didn't like the plot, I didn't like the characters, I didn't like the story, I didn't like the setting, so I just had to DNF it for now. I'm so sorry if you guys like this book, but I don't know, it kind of got me a reading slump. It really did. So now I'm just highlighting China because one of the authors is from China, so I wanted to make sure I got my Reading Around the World challenge fit in. And then I am going to my Opening Leaves page, which is a play on opening lines. So my plan for the year is to write the first line of each book that I read. So for the next 2 pages, I am just creating a cover page for the month of January, and I went on Pinterest and I downloaded some wintry forest themes because my entire reading journal is forest themed, and I did distress the edges of all the paper so it kind of stands out off the page a little bit. And I did use a sticker paper for the images. I thought that was so much easier than just like pasting it into your journal. But I was kind of going for this green, brown forest theme, and I think it came out quite nice. So the first book I read was A Short Walk Through a Wide World by Douglas Westerbeck, and this is a bizarre novel. We are following a young girl. Her name is Aubrey, and she is cursed with some type of strange disease, and it forces her to keep moving. Literally, anytime she stops anywhere for a few days, she starts internally bleeding. She has severe pain. So because of this condition, she embarks on this journey across the world, encountering wonders and dangers, and of course, fascinating people along the way. And she is navigating different cultures and landscapes, and while she's doing this, she's trying to search for a meaning of life and love and a way to break free from this fate and this disease. I thought this was beautifully written. I thought this novel was very fascinating. I loved this very much, and I think I read it within a few days. It was that good, and I highly recommend it. You probably noticed I have a pinecone rating for my books. I am not doing a star rating because this is a nature themed and forest themed journal. So I had this little cute pinecone stamp, and I gave this book 3.5 pinecones. Also, you notice on the right hand side, I pre-printed a summary of the book. I don't like my writing, and I've just been in love with this writing font on Canva called Berkshire. So I just pre-printed what the book is about, and then on where I'm writing, I'm just writing my thoughts, my feelings about the book. And honestly, it kind of saves some time while I'm journaling these books, because this takes a long time. Anyone who does journaling for YouTube understands this whole thing takes a long, long time. So I'm just being a little bit preemptive and proactive, and I just printed it out on some antique looking paper just to kind of make my journal look a little bit nicer. The second book that I read is The Wild Silence by Raynor Winn, and this is the follow-up book from her first book called The Salt Path, which was hands down one of my favorite books last year. In that book, it's a memoir, and it's about her husband. His name is Moth. They lose their home and their livelihood due to a bad investment, and they also receive devastating news that Moth is diagnosed with a terminal illness. And they had nowhere to go, so they decided to walk 630 miles on the southwest coast path in England, carrying only their bare essentials and a backpack and a tent. And I loved that story so much. So this is a follow-up book, and essentially they get back home. They realized they were, kind of getting bored with their at-home life, so decided to go to Iceland and do another trek. And it's just so good. It's so atmospheric, and I recommend both of these books. The Salt Path was, to me, better than this one, but they're still wonderful books, and I gave this a 4 pinecone rating. So the next book is a book that was chosen by my Leaf and Lantern Book Club, The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton. And we are following the story of a young girl named Wanda. She was born during a devastating hurricane in Florida, which does claim her mother's life. And as she matures over the years, Wanda adapts to the transforming landscapes, and she learns to survive amongst the escalating environmental chaos with all the storms, with all the hurricanes and floods. And she's learning to survive and actually kind of excel in this environment. And I love the way this book is written. The narrative is divided into 4 parts: power, water, light, and time, all reflecting the elements and the gradual disillusion of the world as she knows it. And through Wanda's journey, the novel explores her themes of resilience and adaptation and her enduring connection between humanity and the natural world around her. And I thought this book was absolutely stunning. I believe this is my favorite book of the month. So the last book I read for January is The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong, and this is a cozy fantasy that follows Tao. She is an immigrant fortune teller who travels between villages with her trusty mule and her cute little wagon, offering predictions of minor and everyday events. She avoids telling significant fortunes due to past experiences and their heavy consequences. Her solitary life takes an unexpected turn when she becomes entangled in a quest to find a missing child, which leads her to form unlikely friends and bonds with people like a thief and an ex-mercenary and a baker, as well as a magical cat. And together they embark on this really fun and cute and cozy journey filled with warmth and humor. And I thought this book was perfect. I loved everything about this book. If you're just looking for something cute and cozy, this is the book for you. So after I finish with this page, I need to take my distressing tool, and I'm going to distress the edges off page because this can get kind of messy. And then I'm going to take my distressing ink, and I want all of my edges of this journal to look really antiqued, as you can see right here. So that is it. So let me just go through a quick flip through of what I have for my reading journal so far. So as you see, this is my cover page. I did a whole video on how I set this up. I will link that down below. So as you can see here, my reading goals are here. And then my bookshelfie, which I'm very proud of right away. I love this. I really love my bookshelfie, okay? I don't know, I'm not an artist, but I thought it turned out quite nice. And then I have these opening leaves, which is a play on opening lines, the first line of each of the books that I read. I did no foraging. I bought no books so far this month, so I'm really proud of myself. But I did sadly have one DNF, which I'm leaving here in Lost in a Fog. And then my Leaf and Lantern Book Club, which is my in-person book club, I wanted to make sure I printed that book out and put it in here. And then I did add to my Reading Around the World challenge because one of the authors is from China. And then these are the covers of the 4 books that I read for the month. And hopefully I left enough pages because I know these are kind of large. And I didn't feel the need to do my book bracket yet because I'm not quite sure which is my favorite book of the month yet. So here we are with my cover page, and then I'm just going to flip through the rest of the books that I journaled for the month. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you for spending some time with me, and let me know down below what is your favorite book of the month so far. I'm always up to, learning what you guys like and what kind of books you guys like to read. And I hope I gave you some inspiration to maybe start your reading journal if you haven't started one yet for the new year. It's never too late. You can start it at any time. All right, well, thank you for spending some time with me. And until next time, guys, cheers.